Fred would call me one of them LBWs in the film.
What's this?
That's just some rough sketches for the sets. The heroine's love life goes all wrong. She dies of consumption at 23.
Laugh a minute. You know, even as a kid, you were always...
Refined and sensitive?
I was going to say, a bit of a pain in the arse.
Brian and Bruce, great to meet you. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Bruce, the emotional core of this film speaks to your own life experience. Just like Stephen in the film, you had to race home to be by the side of your unwell mother. How did you take something so close to your heart, make it a universal story, to ensure it didn't become, I guess, too autobiographical?
It's not an accurate chronicle of the things that happened to me. The trigger of it was that I did come back because my mother was dying. Then I broadened it into other characters. I took clues from friends' experiences. I had 2 friends who worked in opera in Germany. They went back to small country towns and they told me stories, and I used little things from that and then gradually created a sort of an interesting group. And then I threw in the old aunts who were, one of them was dreadfully prejudiced. And that was actually something that did happen to me with an aunt. I had this aunt who was bitter because her life had never gone right. And she transformed this into being very right-wing. But she was a sad figure, and I hope the sadness is there.
Yeah, it's
so that we see these things with some dimension.
Yeah. I believe one of the other things that happened to you was the Jesus Christ bloodline. That was true to life.
That is true.
What a crazy moment.
My father had this friend whose name was Orb. My father took me one day when I think I was maybe about 14 or something. He took me to Orb's place near Kurrajong in New South Wales. And he said, Orb wants to show you something. And Orb showed me this chart proving that he was a direct descendant of Jesus. But what was really interesting about it was when I said to my father, this is ridiculous, my father said, how can you say that? You saw the chart. And I said, the chart is a fake. But he didn't accept that.
We shot that scene.
Yes, you shot that scene.
Exactly
Yes.
the scene we shot.
Well, I couldn't resist it.
Yeah. Oh, it's too good.
And you couldn't make it up.
No, you
If
can't.
it wasn't true, if you made it up, it would look fake. But because it really happened, much as it does in the film, it's quite believable.
I read that when you write, you find it quite exciting when characters take over and dictate what they're going to do next. I love that.
Brian said the same thing to me when he's writing. He's written 3 novels. He said the same thing, which I was glad to hear that because I thought, is it just me that lets the characters tell me what's happening? But it's not.
The characters take you on to the story.
Is it equally exciting when your actors do that on set and dictate maybe how a scene takes shape in a way that you may not have thought?
Well, it's very exciting when you're directing to hear the actors bringing it to life, often making it sound much better and more real than I ever thought it would. I know I used to forget to say cut because I felt I was watching real life. And then everyone would look at me and then I'd say cut. But I thought, why did they stop? Because it's so interesting, you know.
Brian, your character Fred, he resists the truth to accept the fact that he cannot cope on his own. It's equal parts funny, but it's also quite hopeless to watch as well. But there is this really lovely moment in the film where Fred takes himself back to the moment that he first met his wife. Is there a particular core memory of your youth that you look back on fondly?
I look back on my moments with my mother, like moments where she was there to let this moment happen. She'd taken me somewhere or done something in leading me through life. So I do go back and think about those things at times, yeah.
And building out the character of Fred, he's a bit of a hoarder, he's a bit of a mess, especially in the front half of the film. In building your character, how did you connect with the space and the stuff, the things, your life in the house that helped inform your performance?
I have to go to what I feel in Fred, and it's pride. How dare someone come down and tell you that you can't cope and that you've got to move? You know, how dare someone? Now take a breath and go, why are they saying it? It's a bit like doing a movie and a director says, some director will go, I think you should do this. And immediately I go, I can't do that, okay? And then I go away and I go, what the hell were they asking that for? And then I think about it, and I think about it, and I go, oh, this is what they're really trying to say. Not do that, but like something else is in there that they're trying to get. And I'll think about it, and I'll go, okay, let's do that again. And I'll do it a different way. But it'll be because I've considered what they've said, and yes, it makes sense what they've said. 99% of the time it doesn't make sense, so I just dismiss it. But every now and again, I go, listen to them. What are they trying to get at here?
Now, you guys have made several films together, but the last
Three.
time, three. So the last time was back in the 80s.
Yes, it was 42 years ago.
Yeah. What was it like coming back together, and how has your relationship working on set evolved?
I think it continued exactly as if it had never been a gap.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You know, both of us have had the opportunity to get polished up in all sorts of ways and enter sophisticated areas that we wouldn't have ever entered except for this game. But the core of who we are is still the same, bloody same. He still cracks the same silly jokes on the set, and I still laugh at them. You know, so a lot of things don't change. But it's the strength of his storytelling that's appealing. I mean, when Bruce said, listen, I got a movie that you might like to do, I'd like to play this character, I was so looking forward to reading it and so looking forward to the chance of working with Bruce, because I like him as a storyteller and I like how he treats his actors. Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's your character, you do it.
I want to talk about one of the final moments of the film where you say, it's marvellous, it's wonderful, when you're watching the production of La Traviata. How do you view that moment that Fred was watching his son's, world come alive?
Well, you never know what's going to happen when you've got a scene like that or a moment like that, but you know that something's broken through for the character.
That's absolutely true. That's what it is.
Yeah, and he has to. You've got to try and find that moment within you where you let it be honest to that moment, and you hope that whatever you turn in is going to work for the movie.
But he realises too that the son this is his art. This is what he does,
Yeah.
and he does it superbly.
And he's proud of it.
And the father, he realises that, and also the opera is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I think, although we just show a fragment of it, it's a fabulous production. We filmed in Sydney Opera House.
Yes. Well, my husband is actually a producer at Opera Australia, and Fred would call me one of them LBWs in the film. What was it like filming at the Opera House? It's a magnificent production.
Well, it's a wonderful production by Sarah Giles. She also did the other one. We did Rusalka, which is earlier in the film. When I saw the opera originally, I thought that's the opera I want to put at the end of the film, because it's meant to be designed by our central character. And I thought a production like this one, it's done with tremendous understanding of the characters and the music. And the soprano is out of this world.
Beautiful. Josh was there that day you filmed. He said it was a magnificent experience.
Yes.
In wrapping up, thank you so much for your time. I was really drawn to this lovely lyric in the film. My only regret are the joys untasted. As artists, are there things within your career that you haven't yet tasted that you want to make sure they don't become regrets?
I think
I think every time you're given a job to do, a new script or whatever, or writing something, you're just being tested all the time. So you're never doing the same thing again. It's a new character in a new story. What am I going to turn up with?
I think that song, I used that song because I thought the lyrics were particularly appropriate to the theme and characters of the film.
Yeah.
The song's written by Clive James, probably the best song he ever wrote.
Yeah.
And that girl sings it superbly.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Congrats
mate.
on the
Thanks for
film.
your time, Tim. Good on you.